immigration attorney from the Jalami Law Firm in Cedar Knolls, New Jersey, and my firm serves clients from all 50 states in family-based immigration and humanitarian immigration. So today I have a topic that I want to talk about. It's regarding how to get a green card without having to leave the United States, right? So, what you need to know is that if you have a family member or even an employer who's filing for you, that does not automatically allow you to get a green card within the United States. So, there are certain things that make you inadmissible. That's what it's called, when you are not allowed to change your status and become a green card holder, even though you may qualify for the immigration relief you're seeking for, but you're not able to adjust your status. That's what it's called. Adjust your status to get a green card. So today I want to talk about two ways that you may be able to adjust your status if you have an inadmissibility issues. Just two ways. There's several. But today I'm going to talk about just two ways. Okay. Hi everybody. Thank you for joining. And I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. And so I'm going to be looking maybe up, down, sideways, because I'm trying to show my face on Instagram. I'm trying to show my face on Facebook. I'm also on YouTube. So today's topic is adjustment of status. So there are two ways, right, to get a green card. You can either adjust your status within the United States, or you can do it by something called consular processing, which means that you have to either go back to your country, right, and be interviewed in the embassy, the United States Embassy in your country. Or if you're already in your country, then of course that's another way you do it by consular processing. But today we're talking about people who are here in the United States who qualify for a petition by a relative or or an employer, but they cannot adjust their status because of certain factors. So the first thing I'm going to talk to you about is one of the reasons that a person can become inadmissible. One of the reasons would depend on how the person came into the United States. So when I talk to somebody, the first thing I always ask is, how did you come into the United States and when did you come into the United States? Because if you came in before 2020, right, you might qualify for a separate, relief. If you came in before 1997, there might be something else that could be available for you. But for the purposes of today, we're just going to talk about those who came in, I'd say like what, 5-10 years ago, regular, not people who came in since 2001, right? Now, I had a client who has a child who is a U.S. citizen, actually 3 kids who are U.S. citizens, and he wanted me to file. They wanted to file for him. The kids are over 21, which your U.S. citizen child must be to be able to file for you. They have to be over 21. So I find out that the manner in which he came into the United States was he came in through the border. So if you come in through the border, you're not going to be able to adjust your status, right? You won't, right? Unless you meet certain, exceptions, right? And that's what I'm going to talk about, 2 exceptions. So if you come in through the border and you're not paroled in or waived in, it means you came in without a passport, without a visa, and you came in, undocumented, you're still undocumented. That is different from somebody who came in and the person has an expired visa. If the person came in with an expired visa, their family member who's over 21 and above, or their spouse or their parent can file for them. But if you came in through the border, you cannot adjust your status without getting a waiver or pardon, right? Which allows you, it's called a provisional waiver, which allows you get the waiver before you leave, and then you have to leave and go to your country and go for the interview and then come back. What are the 2 exceptions I'm going to talk about today? I'm going to talk about VAWA and military parole in place. So let's talk about VAWA first, because a lot of people don't realize that if you file a VAWA petition, it doesn't matter if you came in with a visa or you didn't come in with a visa. That is not important. It doesn't matter if you're working, you've been working without authorization. All of that is forgiven if you're filing a VAWA petition. So if you're filing a VAWA petition, you can adjust your status without any regards to how you came into the country, right? Okay, so let me give you a little background on VAWA, right? VAWA stands for Violence Against Women's Act. It applies to men, it applies to women, it applies to children. So even though the acronym says Violence Against Women's Act, I really wish they would change it because it's so confusing, because some people actually believe it only applies to women. And it did for a while, but in 2000, the protections of VAWA was extended to include men, okay? So I want to talk about VAWA for parents, right? So if you have a child who's 21 and above, right, and they want to file for you, but you as the child, the parent of a U.S. citizen cannot adjust your status because you came in through the border. If you are being abused by your child, you would not need to, you will be able to adjust your status without leaving the United States. And a lot of people we don't want to talk about parental abuse, but it happens, okay? You have a child who is aware of the power that they have over you as an undocumented immigrant, right? They're disrespectful, they're rude, sometimes physically abusive, emotionally abusive. You know, they treat you badly, they take advantage of you financially. There are many ways that a child can be abusive to a parent. So if you are in this situation where you have a U.S. citizen child who's 21 and above, right, and that child treats you badly to the level of either physical battery or extreme cruelty, the behavior rises to the level of extreme cruelty, then call my office, 973-993-1900. You may be able to qualify for VAWA. And if you came in through the border, right, and you qualify for VAWA, you will not need to go back to your country to adjust your status. And that goes for if your child is if your spouse is a green card holder, actually. So the same thing works for people who are filing for their spouses who came through the border. If you're coming through the border, adjustment of status becomes an issue. However, in the case of a spouse, right, the spouse may get a waiver may be able to file a waiver by showing extreme hardship to the spouse. For a child, you cannot use your child cannot show extreme hardship to themselves to get your waiver. So that's why for some people, VAWA may be the only option for them, right? For other people, another exception to this rule that you cannot adjust your status if you came in through the border is if you have a child who is in the military, right? So if you have a child who is in active service and is an active member of the United States Armed Forces, or the child is a current member of the selected reserve of the Ready Reserve, or someone who previously served in the United States Army or used to be a member of the selected reserve of the Ready Reserve, right? There's something called military parole in place. This allows a parent or a spouse or a child who came in without authorization, who came in without a visa, who came in through the border, to adjust their status without leaving the country. However, unlike VAWA, military PIP, parole in place, is not automatic. It's a discretionary relief. So you have to make your case as to why you should be granted this relief. Hi, Mr. Tusk. Thank you for showing up. Good day. So I just wanted to come in real quickly to talk about that and to talk about why people who, if you're coming through the border and you know that you're going to have a problem adjusting your status, you might want to look at the relationship you have either with your spouse, with your child, or even with your parent, parental abuse of a child. All of VAWA is extremely forgiving with regards to that. So, so this is a quick one because I have a meeting at 1:30 and I want to prepare for it, but I just wanted to come in real quick and give you guys a little heads up on being able to adjust your status in the United States without having to leave. So if you have any questions or you have immigration matters, family-based, humanitarian-based immigration, please call my office. We're here to help. 973 973-993-1900. And we serve clients in all 50 states of the United States. Have a great day, everyone. Take care.